Republicans in the House of Representatives have launched a new plan to try to keep Steve Bannon out of prison, even though he has been ordered to report for his 4-month prison sentence no later than Monday. So they're a little behind the 8 ball on this one, right? I mean, you've got 3 full days left to come up with a plan to keep Steve Bannon out of prison by Monday. But don't worry, because House Republican Speaker Mike Johnson says he's got it all under control. And it's simple. They're going to keep Steve Bannon out of prison by simply rewriting history. And I'm not making that up. The plan truly is that insane. Here's what's going on. As we all know, Steve Bannon was convicted in October of 2022 of defying a congressional subpoena that was sent to him by the House Select Committee investigating January 6th. Bannon did not comply. He was then referred for prosecution to the DOJ. The DOJ prosecuted. A jury of his peers found him guilty, and the judge, Carl Nichols, a Trump appointee, sentenced him to 4 months in prison, but allowed him to stay out of prison as he appealed it. He has now exhausted his appeals, and Nichols has said, well, I can't do much to save you now, bud. Report by July 1st for jail. So, but it all comes back to the defiance of that subpoena. Now, Republicans, led by Marjorie Taylor Greene about a week or so ago, had tried to say, well, the subpoena actually isn't even legitimate to begin with because the committee itself wasn't legitimate because Nancy Pelosi didn't put all of Kevin McCarthy's Republicans on the panel and she only put 2 on there. Okay, she didn't have to put any, by the way. Like, it was well within her authority to put on whoever the hell she wanted to put on. As the minority leader at the time, Kevin McCarthy made his recommendations, but Pelosi did not have to accept any of them, and she didn't because McCarthy, of course, put up individuals who denied the election results to be on the panel investigating what happened when people denied the election results. So Pelosi was well within her authority to do that. But now, a week later, Republicans say, okay, so we can't obviously get rid of the subpoena because the Democrats already defended that in court and justified why McCarthy's Republicans weren't on the committee. So Speaker Johnson says, what we're going to do is we're going to file an amicus brief with the appellate court, just reversing the previous filing from the old Congress that justified the Republicans not being on the committee. So he's literally telling us we're going to go to court and we're just going to rewrite history. We're going to undo what happened several years ago. Now, here's the fun thing about that, folks. Congress can't do that. No, you see, if they were able to do that, then any brand new Congress could simply file a brief in court undoing everything the previous Congress did. They are individual bodies that each serve for 2 years. They are their own separate entities, okay? And that's how we have to look at them in this particular instance. So today's Congress cannot undo by a simple court filing what the previous Congress had done. Also, that can't be done because the previous Congress no longer exists to be able to file a counter-argument in a court filing. So, no matter which way you slice it here, Speaker Johnson's plan to go to court and attempt to rewrite history cannot work logistically because that's not how Congress works. You cannot retroactively change what the previous Congress did unless, of course, you pass legislation to change what the previous Congress did. You can't just write down on a piece of paper, nope, this is no longer good, here you go. That doesn't work at all. That's not a thing. But that's how stupid Republicans are, and that's how desperate they are for some reason to keep Steve Bannon out of prison for 4 months. Not to mention, as I have explained, even if the appellate court did say, okay, the subpoena's null, that doesn't mean that Steve Bannon's conviction gets thrown out. He would still have to go to jail because that is a ruling of a judge. So what he would then have to do is appeal his entire conviction saying, hey, what I was convicted for is no longer a crime. He would have to go through another trial, essentially, to throw out the conviction against him. And by the time the court even accepted it, his prison sentence would already be done. Not to mention the fact that, as I said, he goes to jail in 3 days. Like, you're not going to be able to do what you're saying you're going to do in 3 days, Mike Johnson. You can't even do what you're saying you're going to do because it's not even legal to do that. But these Republicans, we're not dealing with smart people. We are dealing with wholly corrupt individuals who have no friggin' clue what they're even trying to do. Hey everybody, I don't know if you've noticed this, but we are closing in on a pretty major milestone here at Fair and Balanced as we approach 500,000 subscribers. But we're not there yet, and we definitely need your support. So if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel, and don't forget, like and comment on the videos and share them as widely as possible.